Hi everyone, here's our last video lesson for chapter 4, and the topic of this is phrasal verbs. So phrasal verbs are the last thing that we're going to learn about how to stress and what the stress pattern is for phrasal verbs. So here on my board I have a list of phrasal verbs. Why don't you pronounce after me? Work out, get up, look out, clean up, turn off. Okay, so what is a phrasal verb? If you look at it, work out, is that the same thing as the verb work? Not really, because work out means to exercise. Work usually means to go to your job and do things that you're supposed to do, that type of thing. So a phrasal verb is actually a little bit different from what that verb would be alone. Right? Work is not the same verb as work out. Work out is a different verb, and it's actually a two-part verb where you take the verb and you put a preposition with it, a special word that we call a particle, you put together with the verb, and it makes a new meaning. So like this one, get up, is different from the verb get. Get means like to receive. Get up means to rise. So it's a different thing. When you add this particle up to the verb get, you get a new verb, which is the verb get up. So this is what a phrasal verb is. There's lots of them in English. You actually often study them in a grammar class. So maybe you've studied phrasal verbs before in a grammar class. But in a pronunciation class, what we're thinking about is which part is going to get the stress? Which part is the most important part that will receive stress? Now, what's interesting about these is where the stress comes is very interesting. Listen and tell me which part is the most important part. Work out. Yeah, it's on out. How about this one? Get up. Yeah, there's more stress on up. Which part is stressed for this? Look out. Yeah, on the out. Clean up. Good, the stress should be on up. Turn off. Good, the stress should be on off. Now what's interesting about that is that these particles, these little parts that we add to the verb, they are not normally important words, right? Like out and up are not normally important words that receive stress. But when they are with this verb, they become very important because they want to show it's not the verb work, it's the verb work out. Right? And so actually when you're working with a phrasal verb, the rule says to put stress where? Stress the particle. Yeah, when you're working with a phrasal verb, you want to stress the particle. Work out, get up, look out, clean up, turn off. You want that stress on that small ending part. Now, this is not actually a new rule because you know our verb rule already. What is our rule for longer verbs? Which part do we stress? Do you remember? Yeah, the second part, like receive, stress comes on the second part. Or oversleep, stress comes on the second word. Decide, stress comes on the second part. So this is our normal verb rule from before that we already learned. Verbs prefer the second part to have the important stress. And that is also true with phrasal verbs. They are the same rule. Pronounce for me, receive, oversleep, decide. And now these ones will have the same pattern. Work out, get up, the same exact pattern with the second part or the last part of the verb being the most important part. Now we do have to be a little bit careful. I put these ones down here to remind you to be a little bit careful because, for example, work out, the verb is an action like exercise, but actually there's also a word workout, which is a compound and it's a thing. Like I finished my workout. is actually stress on the first part because that is a thing, a noun, a compound noun. Workout or textbook is another compound noun. So when it's that compound noun, remember nouns are on the first, but verbs would be on the second. Let's try it one more time before we finish. Pronounce after me. Work out, get up, look out, clean up, turn off, receive, oversleep, decide. Okay, and then our two nouns change patterns now. Workout, textbook. Okay, great. So now you know how to pronounce phrasal verbs. Have fun.